Have you ever noticed when it comes to binocular reviews, in this case 42mm or best in class awards, they nearly always go for the 8x42 as opposed to the 10x42. And now, why is that? Well, more on that later in the video. And so what we're looking at today is the Visionary Freebird ED 10x42. I recently did the 8x review, and I will link to that at the end of this video. And so, and also there was a recent Glossy magazine review of the 8x42, sorry, and they give it 4.5 stars out of 5 in whether it's handling, the all important optics, and the price. So 4.5 out of 5 throughout. The ratings is excellent, really, and so that says it all. So the 10x42, and so just like the 8x, those that follow our channel probably know what I'm going to say now. They're not heavy, they're well built. But when it comes to at 750 grams, by the way, but with binoculars, it doesn't matter how well built they are. One of the most important things is how they balance in the hands, and they balance really nicely, and so you don't feel that weight, how well built they are at all. They do feel very, very comfortable, and that is also aided by the little lugs there for putting the straps through, which are very rounded there, and so they don't dig inside your hands, and everything just falls into place. They are perfectly proportioned just for my hands, and the focuser, they're very, very smooth to use, no tight spots, no slack spots at all. And talking of the focuser, just like the 8x, these are incredibly close focused. I'm about 5'8" or so. I can focus on the ground around my feet. You will find with going down to about 1.2 meters or so, 1.3, you will struggle to get a single image looking through both eyepieces. So you might have to just look through one. That's not a fault, that's just how binoculars work. If you're looking at something maybe 2 meters away, then yes, you can look through both eyepieces. So I mentioned how smooth the focuser was, as is the right eye diopter adjustment. Very, very easy to use, but not so easy that it will easily knock out of place. With spectacles on, I found I could just about get the full field of view, so you might want to test a set first. And with glasses off, I found that the correct setting for me was 1 click out or 1 click back in, whichever way you look at it, to get a nice comfortable view. And these are about 6.6 degrees field of view. And so before we get onto the optics, a quick look at the accessories. You get a very nice quality nylon case here, a microfiber cleaning cloth that does the job, a small constructions leaflet which tells you about general care and maintenance and how to use binoculars, just in case you don't know. A nice quality padded strap for the neck, and a little strap with clips for the case. And so the all important optics, so you get a 6.6 degrees field of view with these. And one of the first things I did notice with these, oddly enough, was the really nice internal baffling, and so you get a nice dark edge around whatever you're looking at, and that does improve the contrast and brightness a lot, believe me. Some binoculars you do get a little bit of internal reflection, which doesn't really help things much at all. And so you get a delightful pin sharp image with these. These are around about £300 at the time of this video, and so you'd expect a quality image, and that is what you get. I actually tested the 8x as opposed to another brand 8x42 that I have mentioned a few times on this channel. I'll let you guess which one. These gave a brighter image, and that really does say it all. And so the image to the edge, around about the outer 15% or so, there is a little bit of fall off in quality, but for one, you'll not even notice that because the image in the centre is so good, and that's about par for the course anyway. And staying on the outer edge, there is no pincushion distortion at all, so that is another plus point. It may not be a factor to some, but to some it may be so. So really, really bright, excellent colours and contrast, as you would expect. They're ED glass, dielectric coated prisms, fully multi-coated, and BAK4 prisms. There is a little bit of chromatic aberration on high contrast subjects, such as a bird in a tree with a bright background, or maybe a swan with a dark background, where there is contrast between dark and light parts of the view. But away from that, there is no chromatic aberration whatsoever, which is pretty much most of the times you'll be using them. And even if it is even if it is high contrast, in that centre sweet spot you'll hardly notice any at all. So yeah, as I guess with the 8x42, very good stars from myself all around. Hard to fault them really. Maybe the twist eye cups a little bit stiff to use if I was getting really picky, but believe me, I'm struggling to find anything wrong with them. And so that's a quick look at the Visionary Freebird 10x42 ED, link to buy in the description. Obviously you're supporting our channel by doing so, and if you do order from us, which I hope you do, whether it be, well, if it's online, just reply to the order confirmation email saying that you saw us on YouTube, and I'll put a little extra something in the box. And if you come to our optics weekends and you're looking at these or any set of binoculars on the table, always remember, tell me that you saw me on YouTube, and so I can give you a little extra something free of charge. Has anything moved? Sorry. I knew there was something I forgot. I was going to explain the difference between 8x and 10x. Why most of the, or a lot of the reviewers or best in class awards seem to go for 8x42 as opposed to 10x42. And why is that? You get a wider field of view, a larger exit pupil for a brighter image, and also a larger depth of field, which means you're focusing less. And so easier for the beginner, best all round, yeah? But for some people the opposite might be an advantage. So confused, I will try to explain. So with the 10x you get a narrower field of view. So you're looking at the sheep in the field, you're not interested in what's one side or the other, you just want to look at that subject. And so for that reason 10x can be better. Not only that, but it also brings it closer. And also the shallower depth of field, the same as with photography, the longer focal length you get the shallower depth of field, which can be a good thing because you'll have to use the focuser a lot more, so it will take more practice, but it will throw the background much more out of focus, giving you more background blur, as a photographer would say, and so your subject will stand out more with 10x compared to 8x. And so the advantages are, as you'll get that narrower field of view, so you're not looking at what's either side, which has no interest to you, and that shallower depth field makes the subject stand out more if you don't mind using that little bit more focus. And so that is why sometimes 10x can be better than 8, other than the obvious magnification benefits. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you next time.